Rings of Power. Just can't seem to catch a discourse break this week, as just about every neckbeard on the earth has come together to bitch and whine and moan that not 100% of the cast is white.
Boo-hoo.
White. I don't like, look. Look. When Tolkien's own descriptions of some of his characters are darker skinned, and then the guys are out like, it's not white. Who the fuck is Lord of the Rings? It literally does not change anything about the writing or the story or the fucking, like, the visual, the whole, like, everything that's Lord of the Rings. The fuck is wrong with these people? Well, we know, they're racist, but it has an answer, and it's easy, and it's they're racist.
Some of them are.
Yeah.
Some of them definitely are.
And they're either racist or way too concerned about what they think in their head is canonically Lord of the Rings.
I think probably more of it is that, but there definitely are racists that are like, I don't want to see anybody in this film but people that look like me.
If that dwarf doesn't look like me, it's hell to pay. That Balrog ain't white. I'm throwing in the towel.
Just what it is.
However, it got bad enough that now the showrunners, the show, and the original cast of the movies have gotten together to do a bit of a campaign around this whole thing. I can't remember exactly what it's called, but I think it was something along the lines of, like, you know, everyone is welcome or whatever. And then they've got, like, all the ears from all the races in the thing, and it's like the whole kind of deal. It's like, it's corny, but at the same time, I guess better than not doing anything at all, you know, to at least show, you know, clearly, I don't think anyone questioned whether or not the original cast or anyone involved was likely concerned about whether or not everyone was white in the Lord of the Rings, small or big screen stuff, but
well, I mean, you know, I get it to a degree.
Yeah.
Like, I get it to a degree. Like, we live in this ultra woke time where, like, people are just shoving fucking their own ideologies down your throat and expect you to just, like, be on board with every little thing that there is possible, or you are every type of phobia or misogynistic or racist or whatever thing you want to label it. And in some cases, those things are real. Absolutely. I'm not saying they don't exist. I mean, they're very, very, very real. And
things get exaggerated, though.
But holy shit, man. You know, I mean, you can't even fucking fart on the internet now without somebody saying, like, did you eat, like, beef? Because that's killing animals, motherfucker. Like, you know, like that fart smells like you ate some cow. You know what they do to cows, right? So, like, that's where we're at. So, I mean, I think some of it is people will bitch and moan to bitch and moan. I mean, that's just the way it is. And then I think that there are some legitimate, like, racist assholes that are just like, you know, I don't want color or any other things blending in with, like, my stuff that belongs to us, right? We don't want you. We don't need you infecting it, right? So some people think like that. And then I also just think that there are some people that are probably upset that it feels as though they are purposely putting in all of these different ethnicities and different looks to things that they normally weren't used to getting on the big screen for Lord of the Rings. And they're doing it, they think that they're doing it for a publicity stunt or an inclusion thing where they need it just needs to be shoved down your throat. I mean, I've seen things happen in Marvel now that is just like, I've seen things happen, you know, in other Disney products where you're just like, whoa, you know, are you really doing this because it calls for it? Or are you doing this because you're trying to make a statement? Now, there's nothing wrong with making a statement, you know. Everybody deserves to be included. Shit, I'm black, right? So I like seeing representation myself. But I also know that, like, sometimes things get pandered to for political reasons or for other reasons that isn't necessarily doesn't come off very genuine, and it almost feels out of place. And so I think that there's probably a pocket of people that are like, why? Like, why being so aggressive on this? And then, you know, and I like the fact that there is more inclusion. I haven't seen the show yet, but like when I go to watch it, I'm not going to be thinking like, oh my God, there's someone that's Asian, or there's someone that's black, or there's someone that's whatever. I don't think like that. I'm not like, what the hell? Why is there 3 black characters in 4 scenes? The last time I watched Lord of the Rings, it was all white people.
This ratio is way off.
This is crazy. What are you doing, Amazon? Stop. I don't think like that at all. But there are people that think like that, and they shouldn't. If it feels like, here's the thing. I'm all for inclusion, and I think the more the better. It just needs to be done in a way that doesn't feel so out of the blue.
Good faith is what I call it. So like, what you were discussing before, that it was like hard to put your finger on what exactly it was. I would describe that as the difference between feeling like something was done in good faith versus something was done to meet an end.
Yeah.
And that isn't necessarily in good faith, or like is more about a political thing, but not for like making a political statement in good faith, but making a political statement because it's in vogue, and you're doing it because it's popular, and it's the thing that, you know, people are expecting you to do, so you're doing it to make more money or something along those lines, instead of just doing it because it's in good faith and it's something you actually believe. And it can be difficult to distinguish when that line is crossed, but the Lord of the Rings at no point, even when we knew about these characters being this way before the show's release, at no point in anything I saw was I like, oh yeah, they're going woke, bro. Oh fuck me.
I didn't get that vibe. I didn't get that vibe either.
Zero.
Let Lord of the Rings do what Lord of the Rings wants to do. As long as they're telling good stories, who cares what the color of people's skin is? What the fuck? It's just crazy. It's just nuts. And from like the promotional stuff that I've seen, even the Game of Thrones, like I've saw black characters in there that, like, you know, yeah, I think there was like maybe like 1 or 2 black characters in all of the Game of Thrones in the like, but like I've seen now previews of the new Game of Thrones, and I'm seeing more black characters, and in my mind, I'm not going like, oh, they're just doing this because, like, you know, they feel pressured to, or they want to make a statement. It's just like, no, they're just getting some different people, including more ethnicity in there, and there's nothing wrong with that. As long as the characters are good and it calls for it, then fine. Who cares? You know, it's insane. It's not like we're telling a story of slavery, and then the entire cast is white. That would be fucked up.
That would be fucked up.
Because then you're going, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying?
I'm sure somebody has thought about doing that, like, intentionally, as like acknowledging how fucked up, like the statement would be how fucked it would be to do it. But like, no, but I know what you're saying.
Stories that, makes sense. This is not this ethnicity or this background to represent this type of history. Okay? No, don't do that. But or if there's like if you're doing something that's like really in Japanese culture, right? And it's deep seated in the culture, in the history, in every fiber of the story, and next thing you know it, you've got black people playing this and whatever playing that, and you would just say to yourself, well, why aren't we giving the opportunity to an actor or an actress of that ethnicity to tell that story so that it is authentic as possible? Then it makes sense. But like, we're talking fantasy here, guys. It's fucking fantasy shows with elves and fucking, whatever, dude. Calm the fuck down, man. It's not that serious. God damn.
Yeah, somebody mentioned in regard to what you were talking about there is like Tropic Thunder made that a parody better than any other movie possibly ever. You know, having Robert
Tom
Downey.
Cruise.
No,
Robert Downey as the black guy with the black
he's like
face.
he's like a white dude playing a black guy playing there was like 4 or 5 layers deep.
Yeah.
To it,
he'd never be able to do that today. Like
which is a shame because it was so
destroyed now. They would destroy him now, right? He'd be like, I can't do this. You're crazy as hell. It's just the times we live in, man. You can't even like I said, you can't do nothing.
And if he didn't get canceled for that, he'd get canceled for the line, never go full retard. And,
there you go.
That would also have sent him directly to the Shadow Realm.
But the shit is fucking funny, man. The shit was funny.
Dude, Tropical Thunder is a fucking hilarious
it's a great movie. And we know it doesn't come from a place of like hate or a place of like
context
real deep-seated racism.
Exist. Intention doesn't exist anymore.
Context doesn't exist in 2022. It doesn't. No. It's just like you pick
it's
a side.
Ironically black or white.
That's it, man. It's crazy. It's nuts.
It was like somebody talking about like how they thought that the Rush Hour movies were racist. And I was like, what?
Dude, they're stereotypical, and they knew what it was, but at no point did I leave Rush Hour going, oh my God. That was some of the most
Jackie
racist
Chan
shit I've
said
ever
he was
seen.
going to slap Chris Tucker back to Africa? I demand a refund!
What the fuck? Jackie Chan? I thought you were a good man, Jackie. What happened? It's like, dude, it's comedy. Calm down, man. It's like 90s comedy.
Bro,
but you won't see that in 2022 because there's just too many. Because
you can't. Nobody can distinguish between like what intention and not like. What
and no studio's gonna sign off on that. They're gonna be like, bro, even if you got a guy or a girl at the top, it makes all the shots. And you're like, dude, this shit is funny as fuck. But there is a 0% chance that I'm putting this out because I'm gonna have to clean up the mess. It's gonna look bad on all of us. I can't do this. I can't do this. They're just not gonna do it. That's just the way it is. The only thing that you get now is comedy, as in like stand-up comedians will go out there and they'll push the envelope, and a lot of them
and even
will
they're getting roasted.
They'll get killed on the fucking stage unless you're like Chris Rock, Dave Chappelle.
Well, Chris Rock still got slapped for his joke,
and he still got slapped for his shit, right? There's like you've got like 4 or 5 comedians on Earth that can get away with like saying whatever the fuck they want, and even some of them just get absolutely reamed.
And if you think about it, most of them are black.
Yes.
Because I think the only white guy that can get away with it in comedy is Bill Burr.
Yes. Right now.
Right now.
Pretty much.
And
right?
Bill Burr's fucking funny.
With that being said, Bill Burr is funny. He's a funny dude.
He's a funny dude.
But with that being said, there are some comedians that teeter the line, right? Where you're just like, ugh. You know,
and again, you can
even
like
Dave Chappelle said some shit in some of his specials, and I'm like,
Dave,
but
that's a line.
But at the same time, like it's comedy. You know, it is what it is. Anyway, guys, calm down, man. Your Lord of the Rings is okay. It'll be okay.
Worry about if the writing is any good. Don't worry about the rest of this shit.
But here's the thing: people, now that it's not what they envisioned, right? They're just not even going to allow themselves to like the show, no matter how good it is, right? It's just going to be every time that they see a character that they didn't want to see, they're just going to be, this show is dog shit. Review bombing. It's garbage. It's bad.
It's true.
It's sad to see, but well, it is what it is, man. Some people are just fucking dumb.
That's very true.
Get over yourself, man. It's a fucking TV show. Chill out.
As Robert Downey Jr. once said, while in full blackface, never go full retard.
Fucking crazy, man.